showing we don't need roads.
Guys, thank you for taking the time. I love this movie, so seriously, this is amazing. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
I love the idea of a herald, someone kind of hyping you up before you walk into a room. I'd love to know if you guys were going to be the herald of the person sitting next to you. How would you hype them up? What would you say about that person before they got there?
This is Julia Garner, Emmy Award-winning actress, one of the most beautiful women in the business. And here she comes.
Ooh,
Thank
that's
you.
good. And the voice
And
helps.
the voice helps. I would just say, icon. So yeah, they were just so iconic. I'm so lucky to be. I would love to share a screen with you properly. But yeah, just icon.
But for now, this is pretty awesome. So much of this movie works because as an audience, we are convinced that these four are a family. So I'm sort of curious, as the people who are playing the villains, did you ever at all feel like a little on the outside looking in? Were there ever any family dinners that you guys weren't invited? Yes, there were. No.
Yeah, there's kind of there is a big element of that just because of the way the characters are shot. The four of them got together when we all got together at the start for the read through, the table read. And then I went off for months and did other jobs and would come in about every 3 weeks to have fittings for the costume and say hi to everybody in kind of passing. But I had a very Galactus-like existence kind of on my own, drifting around whilst everybody else was, bonding and working together. So
I'd want to eat their planet too if that's the case.
Yeah.
Julie, did you have any FOMO at any point?
No, well, not offset. Everybody was so lovely, so it was not that at all. But it was kind of one of those things that I felt like the character was just like flying in and out and in and out. But no, I never had any FOMO because they were so welcoming in a way, off screen, off camera, not in character.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
When your casting was initially announced, obviously there was a small but vocal group of people online that were screaming, oh, they turned Silver Surfer into a girl. And my first thought behind that was, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, it's a different character. So when that initial sort of very small but loud group of people were letting their opinion be known, was it difficult to not just say, you guys clearly aren't the fans that you think you are, because if you were, then you would know that it's a completely different character that I'm playing.
Well, I always want to hear, and I respect everybody's opinion in a way, so I'm always interested. But I also know what is true to the story, which is, Shawball is different than, the Silver Surfer that they're used to. But also, when this first came about, I kind of had the same question too, and then once I, did my research, I realized that it's different. But yeah, hopefully hopefully it resonates with people, and you can't control the audience.
It's been a good education experience for everybody. One of the amazing things for both of your performances that make these characters and the performance resonate so much, of course, we mentioned the voice, both of your voices. I'd love to know how early in the process did you guys just decide, as silly as it sounds, but just how they were going to speak, because their voices are such an important part of who they are and how we feel. Like, I don't know, I saw it in IMAX. When you spoke, my chair shook.
Excellent.
Which is as it is right now. It's pretty amazing. So how did you guys decide just how these people were going to speak?
I found the voice whilst trying to find the size of the character in my head. So I'm big, breathe and expand my chest. And I naturally kind of growl when I breathe if I push it. And so I wanted his voice to sound like rocks falling, like a landslide. And so I'd kind of pushed a lot of air over my vocal cords to make the sound come off the breath and off the growl, rather than kind of making it with my mouth and my throat in a way. So it's a slightly different way of speaking. It uses a lot of air, so you have to time your breathing quite well to be able to speak like Galactus.
It's a testament to how good of an actor you are. How do you react when your phone starts blowing up and your friends tell you realize your voice is going viral on TikTok? Like, how does most people will never get that text. How does one react to that?
Well, I don't have a TikTok, so that's
You're
one.
missing nothing.
Yeah, I can't. It's like one of those things they text you and you can't open. The app doesn't allow you to open if you don't have it. So I don't like. We just saw some TikToks, and it was like my first time seeing a lot of those TikToks. They were some of them were really funny. Yeah.
Heralds.
Yeah.
Added to that.
It's
Hilarious.
I know they were hilarious. No, I it's funny. Y- I it's weird. It's like, I prep so much and then I know that I respect this project and I know how much responsibility it is to be in the Marvel universe and all that stuff. But then once you go on set and you actually make the project, it's no different than any other project for me in the sense where I almost forget that there comes to a point where I forget that people are going to see it. It feels like our own little world. And then once it's out, I'm like, oh yeah, there's TikToks and all of that stuff.
You have to give up a lot in a sense, and that's when you finish the
Yeah.
job. It's like, okay, I've given that, and you're
Yes.
what you do with it. You're going to edit the scene in this way and all that. So you've already have to kind of give it up when you finish a job. But then, obviously, with the Marvel stuff, you've got the reaction of the fans as well as how the filmmakers make it. So
Yes.
it's kind of doubly scary in a way.
Speaking of giving things up and it's no longer yours after you walk away from something like this, at any point in your career, did you think that people might be eating popcorn out of the top of your head?
Never thought that would happen. No.
Biggest
It's
bucket of
huge.
popcorn I've ever seen in my life.
Like I've got a pretty big head, and that thing dwarfs, and the eyes light up.
You can see a double feature.
You
with
really
that
could,
popcorn.
or
Yes.
just be incredibly hungry.
Like Galactus.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly right. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of fitting in a way. I just love to know how you wrapped your brain around the size, because the movie does a really great job of scale, of making you appreciate how big this is, and that's not something most of us ever think about unless we're thinking of ourselves in relation to ants or whatever the case may be. How did you wrap your brain around the size of this guy?
Well, I mean, ants is a good kind of starting point, because if you look at an ant, it has a lifespan of 8 months. A human has a lifespan of about 80 years. Galactus is 14 billion years old, so it's kind of the perspective of what a human looks at an ant. Galactus's perspective to a human is miles beyond that. So it's a matter of finding the insignificance of humans and Earth to a being like Galactus, but making that kind of seem natural and just part of his being, what he is and what he does in the cosmos, rather than being some kind of arrogant overlord who's coming to smite the Earth out of some kind of spite or malice. He is just hungry. He is fulfilling his cosmic task.
I mean,
It's nothing personal about it.
we've all been hangry at that point in our lives, and this movie is just a what can happen whenever you're hangry.
Absolutely.
Julia, I'm going to cut you loose on this. Oftentimes, whenever we're speaking with an actor who is gearing up to play in a Marvel film, or maybe they're in the middle of production, there's no point in asking. We know we can't ask because we know that you can't say anything. And I'd imagine whenever this role is announced, your phone lights up, friends and family wanting to know, what was the most heartbreaking moment you had to tell someone close to you, someone you love? I love you, but I cannot tell you anything about this. Or did you tell them about?
Very like a small amount of people, because I also have to tell them like why I'm disappearing for months. Like my my family and like maybe 2 friends and my husband, but that's it. It's like working, I don't know, it's like being a spy, I guess. I don't know.
Were there any photos you sent from set that in retrospect you're like, I probably shouldn't have done that?
No, never.
Oh, you were good.
I'm very good like that. I'm also very
Super careful. on that kind of stuff.
no, not for this one. No. Yeah.
It's not a joke that Kevin Feige is right off there
Exactly,
with,
yeah.
with a.
Also,
Yeah.
what is there to see? I'm like in all motion gaps. They're just gonna see wires.
But it could look cool.
It wasn't that exciting, I promise you.
And it wouldn't have been that much of a spoiler.
No.
Whereas if I'd have been
Yeah, he
Sweet
caught me
backstage
like
shots of
100%, and
me hanging out having a cigarette in the Galactus suit, that would have been
I kind of want to see that image, like Galactus just.
let's put
I
it
would
right.
actually want to see you in Crafty texting and waiting in line for tea or something with the Galactus. Yeah.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.